It will not immediately subside, but it won't get any worse. It should stabilize relatively high levels for another week, and then we should see the subsidence after that.
The damage, already devastating, will soon become even clearer. But there is more good news. Word that even with more rain coming, a second round of flooding is not expected. But for some, the hurt continues. On the surging Ottawa River sits the Chaudière Ring Dam. Many living downstream are wondering if it could have been used to limit their damage. Olivia Stefanovich found out.
Hear it roar. All 50 spillway gates at the Chaudière Ring Dam are open, the second time in recorded history.
The velocity of this water is 3 times what Niagara Falls is.
The mighty Ottawa River, too strong for Hydro Ottawa to even generate electricity from its sheer force. The equivalent of 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools gush through every second.
Stopping that water, you're going to push the water back up. You're going to start to flood other parts of the city.
You can feel the power of the water even from here. River regulators say there's simply too much of it to hold back, and all of this water has to go somewhere. And that somewhere is downriver.
Our place is worth nothing anymore.
Straight to Roland Lafrance's home.
Everywhere we got water. It's unbelievable.
Lafrance has lived here for almost 50 years and has only seen 2 other floods. First in the 70s, then the historic surge in 2017. Lafrance wants dam operators to bring down the spring runoff sooner.
They know we got a lot of snow. Well, look at it, take care of it. When it melts, be prepared.
But operators say they can only move as fast as the melt.
Even now, much of the water that is to come into the system still is present in snow. So it's not possible to evacuate water that is not yet there and available.
They say they begin the process of controlling the water as soon as they can.
We're deeply sympathetic to anyone that's lost their houses or were impacted by the flooding, but it's not because of anything we're doing here or not doing.
More to come, but people here are hoping at least the worst has passed. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
You can imagine the stress for all those people forced out of their homes by flooding in Ontario, Quebec, and New Brunswick. But coming back can take an emotional toll as well. The CBC's Alison Northcott went to one community near Montreal.
The water here was through about this height.
For days, Alain Pilon has been running on adrenaline, dealing with the damage to his home.
A lot of video from my family, my kids when they was young and they grow and everything. So it's all gone, finished.
But the reality of his loss is starting to sink in.
It's tough a bit. It's quite tough, but what you want? Nothing I could do about it, you know.
Joël Godmer says he's taking it one day at a time.
The impact, you can feel it a couple of years later, right? Because now you're in the moment, right? But if in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, how I'm gonna take that?
Je suis la maison bleue.
Camille Champagne is seeing her submerged mobile home for the first time in an area that's still flooded.
Oh, c'est son auto qui est là. Yeah.
That's her car, barely visible under the water. As she wades inside, she knows her home will never be the same.
I'm speechless. It's a lot of emotion to see everything just gone.
Hundreds in Sainte-Marthe-sur-le-Lac are facing similar devastation, uncertainty, and loss. Teams offering psychological help are going door to door. Coordinator Noémie Lacombe says residents might experience stress, anger, and sometimes suicidal thoughts. She encourages people to talk about it and ask for help. Experts say the mental health impact from a disaster can linger for years.
But it's crucial for us to understand in the period of recovery and rebuilding that we pay attention to some of those mental health impacts.
Camille Champagne says she's thankful for friends, family, and neighbors helping her through.
Everyone just gonna have to be there for each other.
Alison Northcott, CBC News, Sainte-Marthe-sur-le-Lac, Quebec.